Good evening, everyone. This is your evening news recap, your nightly news podcast on all the news that I come across throughout the day, giving you my take as somebody who aspires to be a politician in the near future. Hopefully, all you guys are having a wonderful day. My day is pretty solid. Today is the 1st of August. I cannot believe it, guys. We are here. That is so crazy. 8 months into 2025. I mean, it has been a roller coaster, that's for sure. But we're here. We've made it. There's 4 months left. Christmas is almost here, which is crazy to say. It'll be like that, and it'll be here, which is crazy. It genuinely is. But I guess time flies by. It really does. Hopefully, all you guys are doing well. Hopefully, all you guys are having a wonderful first of the month. Today is Friday, of course. The weekend is here. So hopefully all you guys are doing wonderful and have wonderful plans for this weekend. It's been a pretty long news day overall, actually, after having a really slow week. There's been a lot of news today, which is, interesting, but, that's just kind of how it happens some days. So hopefully you all enjoy, and let's get right into the news. Moving into the Trump administration segment, as we do, if my tab would load, as it struggles to do so all the time. I am looking at myself while this loads. Alrighty, moving into the Trump administration segments, the Smithsonian Museum has removed Trump's impeachments from the impeachment exhibit. The Smithsonian Institution's National Museum of American History removed an exhibit referencing Trump's two impeachments. The decision was made in an internal content review after facing pressure from the Trump administration to axe the art director. They said the facility update will exhibit all the impeachments, but Democrats have argued this is Trump's attempts to make the public forget about his impeachments. We don't talk about Trump's impeachments enough as a whole. Granted, they did come after he was president, but I feel like we should definitely be talking about them more than we do. I mean, this man was impeached twice, and he has 37 fraud-related felonies, yet he's still in the White House right now. I mean, it is actually wild that MAGA will go out and say that he isn't a criminal when there is so much proof that that is the case. He has just gotten away with it for so long. I mean, it is genuinely crazy that we have allowed this man to run rampant, not only through politics through this country, but essentially throughout the entirety of society. He is just able to run free without a care in the world. It is genuinely crazy. In other news, Trump is imposing major tariffs again. Trump has signed an executive order to impose tariffs between 15 and 41% on goods shipped from other countries to the U.S. This will be on more than 67 countries. The new tariff will go into effect August 7th, giving countries another window to negotiate. This is around the 6th time Trump has enacted tariffs, and all efforts have overall failed. Mainly small economies face high rates like Syria and Myanmar. This is likely just another attempt at market manipulation. The stock market will drop and Trump will pull out, as always, pretty much. It is crazy that they get away with so many things like this day after day, week after week. It's something stupid and illegal. Yet it doesn't matter because he's the president and he's rich. It is genuinely fucking stupid, honestly. And I'm sure we're all tired of it at this point. Something needs to change. We're going to have to make a change, and we're going to have to make it impossible for this to happen because the president should not be helping rich people put money in their pockets. The president should be standing up for the average Americans who are struggling to afford everything in this fucking country. Genuinely. In other news, Trump is deploying nuclear submarines near Russia. Trump has announced that he has ordered two nuclear submarines to be positioned in the appropriate regions. In response to warnings made to the U.S. by Russian official Dmitry Medvedev, in a post on social media, he wrote that each ultimatum that Trump makes to Russia to end the war in Ukraine is a threat and a step towards war, not between Russia and Ukraine, but between his own country. Trump said in his response that words are very important and can often lead to unintended consequences. He also says he hopes that won't be the case here. This is wild, but I don't think anything will come of it. I doubt we go to war with Russia anytime soon. Do I think if we do, if I entertain this for a second, do I think Russia will win? Absolutely not. It really does depend if China gets involved or not. If China does get involved, I think the U.S. loses. If Russia doesn't get China involved, and if it's just Russia by themselves, I think the United States wins. Um, you know, Overall, I think if we have a next large global conflict, I think the United States is going to lose. And, I don't think that's the worst thing for the United States. I think having a global conflict, maybe a World War III kind of thing, losing a conflict like that and getting the recognition throughout our country that, maybe we aren't who we say we are, which has been the case for many years at this point, could do a lot. It really could. As much as I think it would be unfortunate if the West lost a, global conflict, I think, you know, at this point, the United States needs to be smacked around a little bit, just to realize that, hey, like we're fucked up. Like we are a terrible country to the other countries around us for one, but I mean for two, like we are even terrible to our own citizens. Like as a whole, since after World War II, really, the United States has been a fucking terrible country, whether that be on the world stage or whether that be for its own people. Like, I mean, we are genuinely a terrible country and we need to change that. Like, it is so clear. It really is. I mean, so clear that we are arguably one of the most evil empires in the world. And that needs to change. It really does. In other news, Trump has claimed that the numbers, bad numbers, are rigged against him from the um, uh, Labor Department. I have two topics about this. We'll go over the numbers in the next one, but let's just go over what Trump said first. In a post on True Social, Trump has claimed that numbers were rigged against him. In this post, he said, "In my opinion, today's job numbers were rigged in order to make Republicans and me look bad, just like when they had 3 great days around the 2024 presidential election, and then those numbers were taken away on November 15th, 2024, right after the election, when job numbers were massively revised downward, but making a correction of over 818,000 jobs, a total scam. Jerome Too Late Powell is no better, but the good news is our country is still doing great." Breaking news: our country ain't doing great. The numbers aren't rigged; they are his fault. He has fired so many people across this administration. These numbers are bound to be low. They really are. Not to mention the unemployment rate in this country is skyrocketing during Trump's administration, but nobody's talking about that, of course. Trump has been in office for 8 months now, and he is doing a horrible job. Genuinely the worst job a president has ever done in the entire history of the United States of America, rated by essentially every rating. Like he is genuinely doing the worst job of all time. Like nobody has done a worse job than Donald J. Trump, except for maybe his first administration. I mean, if he can't accept that he is doing a shitty job, him and his entire administration need to step down. They are genuinely a negative impact on U.S. society. They are genuinely negatively impacting us as Americans day after day. And MAGA still goes around parading him like he is the greatest thing ever, while every other sane person in this country has to watch it be destroyed, has to watch the things that actually, made this country somewhat, able to support. Um, he's taking those away. He is removing those from existence. And, like, it is genuinely stupid. Like, this man is genuinely the worst president of all time. Like, arguably, he is up there. I would say Andrew Jackson is second. But I would argue that he is past Andrew Jackson at this point, if I could speak. Both of them committed ethnically cleansing. Both of them destroyed the entire country. Trump is actively worse, but at this point, I feel that we have had 2 terms of Trump, and both of them have been completely dog shit. There is so much out there to say that Trump is actively a negative for this country. In other news, relating to this one actually, Trump has fired said commissioner who released those statistics. After releasing the Labor Department's Bureau of Labor Statistics, Trump has become rather upset, claiming Erica McTromfer had faked the job numbers to boost the 2024 election for Kamala Harris. The administration has since confirmed the firing of McOntrafer due to the statistics that indicated that the U.S. had added 258,000 fewer jobs than had initially been reported in May and June. Trump said, "No one can be that wrong. We need accurate job numbers. I have directed my team to fire this Biden political appointee immediately. She will be replaced with someone much more competent and qualified." This next person isn't going to be competent and qualified. They are going to be a political pawn. They are going to be a yes man. I mean, this makes sense. This entire administration has fired so many people within, the past 8 months of existence. I mean, these numbers are bound to drop. Whether jobs are created or not, they are going to drop because of the amount of people who have been fired in this country. It is stupid to say that that's like not going to be the case. This woman is being fired because she released a real statistic that didn't even like make Trump bad in a sense. It just proved that he was doing a bad job. Sure, it makes him look bad and proves that he's doing a bad job. But like, if he would have never said anything, probably only the left would have been talking about it. I mean, like, Trump is doing a bad job. We all know this. I just spent 2 minutes talking about it. He is genuinely the shittiest president this country has ever seen. He is ethnically cleansing an entire group of people. He is actively attacking the American people. He is, siding with Israel and Russia on multiple occasions when, we arguably shouldn't be siding with the two of those. I mean, he entered a war against Iran without congressional approval. He is, in a war against Yemen currently. The fact that we aren't talking about that either is crazy. I mean, Trump should be investigated for this. It is a clear sign of corruption within his administration, just like there are so many other clear signs of corruption within this administration. He is a terrible president. And terrible is an understatement. Genuinely, it is. Moving on to the Trump and Epstein segments, we have two topics today. The first one being the FBI redacted Donald Trump's name in the Epstein files. Trump's name was reportedly redacted from the Epstein documents as his administration is preparing for a potential public release. Investigators have blacked out Trump's name as well as other high-profile figures, according to Bloomberg. This came after they were told to flag any mentions of Trump's name the other week. He's in the files for touching kids. Point and blank and simple. I mean, why would they have to redact his name if he isn't doing anything bad in the files? It is the truth. We all know it at this point. Anyone involved with Epstein should be known by the public so we can get rid of these people and deplatform them. They are the pinnacle of garbage in this society, and they shouldn't allowed to be participating in it. I mean, the fact that Trump is considering pardoning Ghislaine Maxwell when she was one of the biggest problems with it, that is fucking disgusting. And I don't care what side you're on, we should all be able to agree that it is fucking disgusting. Ghislaine Maxwell should be serving a life term, and anyone involved with Jeffrey Epstein should be serving a life term. Especially Donald Trump. Let us not forget that yesterday he admitted that he was upset that Epstein took a minor who was working from him. He was upset that Epstein took a child that was working for Donald Trump. In the spa, mind you, that child was working to give massages to people in a spa for Donald Trump. But no, we ain't talking about that. Come on, bro. So many people are just blatantly ignoring the facts. They are blatantly ignoring the signs. And if we would just listen to victims in this country, this wouldn't be a problem. It really wouldn't be. In other news, Maxwell is being moved amid clemency speculation. Ghislaine Maxwell is being moved to a new minimum security facility in Texas. The move comes as she has pressed the Supreme Court to overturn her conviction, as well as a pardon from Trump. Maxwell has met with the Department of Justice multiple times and moved to discuss Epstein with the administration. This has raised speculation that Maxwell may be released, but the Trump administration still continues to claim that that won't be the case. This lady should be serving life, bare minimum. She is evil, genuinely evil. She should not be allowed to leave prison. If Trump pardons her, it is just proof that he is involved with Epstein. I mean, it's coming. Just wait. I am sure we will see it any week now. It is a matter of time before we see a statement from Maxwell saying Trump is not involved with the Epstein files for hurting kids or harming kids. And we all know it's wrong. It is genuinely wrong. If Trump is not in the Epstein files for touching children, why do we have to redact his name from the Epstein files? Genuinely, why is Trump refusing to release the Epstein files if he is not in there for touching children? Like, the like proof is right there, pal. Proof is right there. It is right fucking there, pal. Like, it should not be that hard for people to make that connection. Yet it is. And it is so stupid that it is that hard for people to make that connection. Genuinely. In other news, moving on to our ICE segment, we have one topic for today as an innocent man was assaulted by guards at the CCOT facility in El Salvador. 3 Venezuelan men have come out telling NBC News that they experienced physical and psychological torture in CCOT, including one being sexually assaulted in the facility. The men were held at the facility for 4 months, and the allegation included beatings, psychological abuse, and denial of food or bathroom access. The Trump administration has sent 250 people to CCOT, accusing them of being members of the Tren de Aragua gang. Andre Hernandez Romero, a 32-year-old gay asylum seeker from Venezuela, said he was forced by prison staff to give oral sex to a guard and was groped by other guards at the same time. He said he could not identify the guards due to them covering their faces during the incident. These facilities are concentration camps, flat out. I mean, just like the ICE facilities, they are also concentration camps. It is concentration camps, sorry. It is absolutely disgusting that things like these happen in prisons around the world. It's not just these prisons. And people don't give a shit at all. Like, it should be a problem. It should not be allowed for instances like this to happen, especially when it is done by guards. I mean, that is crazy that guards are just able to do this. I mean, in ICE facilities, we have had incidents where ICE agents are groping and trying to come on to female prisoners. Like, it is a genuine problem, and people are just allowed to do it without a care in the world. Like, it is so crazy that people are just able to touch people without their consent. Genuinely, that is insane. Nobody cares. Do we not understand how crazy that is? Genuinely, nobody cares, and it is genuinely insane. Just like they don't care about the children. They don't care. It is insane that we have politicians who are supposed to work for the American people, and they don't care. They don't care. Their whole job is to work for you, and they don't give 2 shits about you. That needs to be changed. Something needs to be done. Genuinely. Moving on into our other news segments, the final segment for tonight, radioactive wasps have been found in South Carolina. Workers at a site used to make parts for nuclear bombs in the U.S. have found a radioactive wasp nest in South Carolina. According to officials, no one is endangered by this. Employees who checked radiation levels near the facility found the wasp nest near tanks where liquid nuclear waste is stored. The nest had a radiation of 10 times the level what is allowed federally, but workers sprayed the nest down, disposed of its waste, and removed it. No wasps were found in or around the nest. This is an interesting situation, and honestly really scary. I do not want to imagine radioactive wasps. That sounds terrifying. It is also interesting that they didn't find any wasps. I wonder if it's because they all died due to radiation, or something like that. Or maybe they went somewhere else, which is even more scary to think about. But, at the very least, it is truly very interesting. Radioactive wasps in the big 2025. What a time. What a time. Moving on into our final topic for tonight, El Salvador has approved indefinite elections. The party of El Salvador's president, Nayib Bukele, has approved the constitutional change to El Salvador that allows indefinite presidential re-election and to extend terms for 6 years. This was proposed by El Salvador's New Ideas Party and also included eliminating the second round of elections in the country. The vote passed in the country with 57 votes for it and essentially could let Bukele, who calls himself the world's coolest dictator, to serve for the rest of his life. Bukele seemingly is very, very popular in El Salvador, and honestly, it's kind of sad to see. I feel bad for, the people in El Salvador, and I feel bad for anyone who is going through, any dictatorship. I'm sure that it is probably the future that we are going to see in the United States if this administration continues. which is scary to think about, to say the least. I really do feel bad for any country who has to go through a dictatorship because a majority of them, for one, have been started by the United States. But for two, nobody should have to live through that. That genuinely does suck. Mostly truly just don't give a shit about the actual people. It says a lot about the United States of America currently. But in general, it sucks. Governments should be caring about their people, not about their own interests. And the fact that so many governments around the world don't give a shit about their people is genuinely sad. It really is. These governments are still blindly supported by propaganda and so many other things, which makes it even more sad. It sucks that people have to go through this. Genuinely, it is crazy that it is possible for that to happen. And it shouldn't be the case. Really, it shouldn't. Hopefully, one day we are able to not only remove, fascism and all of these terrible ideologies from the world, but dictatorships as well, because nobody should have to live through, a government that doesn't give a shit about them. We, as a world, should be taking strides to actually care about our population instead of just throwing them aside like so many governments do. It is genuinely so sad that that is the case. But with that being said, thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you all enjoyed. This is a 20-minute one, but hey, I'm sure you guys don't mind the little longer ones. At least I hope you don't. I always prefer having longer YouTube videos to watch from a content creator I enjoyed. And from what I heard from you guys enjoy my content, which I appreciate. So thank you all so much for watching. It means the world to me. You guys are all legends. You guys are all goated. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. We're on our way to 500 subscribers. I would love to get there. We're not going to get there by August because it's August now. But I would love to get there by the end of the year, maybe, hopefully. So, let's try to get to 500 subscribers by the end of the year. That's the goal. Maybe if we get there, I'll do a little special, maybe a little vlog or something. Who knows? We'll see. But, share it with your friends, share it with your family. There are other people out there who need news. So, if anyone is asking you where you get your news, be sure to share this channel because I would appreciate it. Also, if you're interested, please subscribe on Substack. All funds go to me. They'll help me pay for the things that I'll need to pay for in college, like food and clothing, and all those kinds of things. If not, you can always subscribe for free. I truly do appreciate all forms of support on all of my content, on all of my pages, wherever it is. Thank you all so much. You guys are genuinely legendary. You guys are goated. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in tomorrow's episode. The screen's freezing up, but later, guys. Have a good one. If it'll end. It's not ending. Hi, guys. I've clicked the button 4 times now.